Well, welcome everybody to our Monday night live stream. I am elated that you could be on with us today. Let me pull my good friend and co-host on here, Thrash Pondo Pons. How you doing this evening, Thrash Pondo?
I am relatively not unwell, thank you for asking.
That's a good way to put things. Relatively not unwell. I think I could throw myself in that category. Although I've been, kind of waiting to make an announcement. I've made it to a few people here, and I don't want to jump the gun in any way, but we've been dealing with a few. I just want people to know this because I know a few people know this, and they're going to ask, well, why are you doing this tonight? If things are in that kind of situation, and I'm doing it tonight for pure distraction and just pure something to do. So my emotions are kind of everywhere right now. Sometimes I feel real sinking feeling in my heart. Sometimes I feel nothing at all. But we got some bad news about my wife, and as many of you know, she's been struggling for about 3.5 years with cancer. The first year went pretty well. She got on some chemo medication, the kind of that you take orally, and that year was tough, but it was manageable. And then the second year was excellent because she beat it, and we were off everything for a year. Then this last third year has been actually terrible. So, and then we just got news that the doctors kind of encouraged her to go off of her medications and just to enjoy the last couple months of her life because there's really not a lot that they can do. So if I look like I'm in good spirits, I'm acting. And if I look like I'm in down spirits, I'm not. But I want to keep the show going as good as we can. And she's not gone. There's always hope. We saw an alternative doctor, and the alternative doctor basically said there's some things that we can try if she wants to try them, and we're trying them. And there's always hope as long as there's life. But I just wanted to let you guys know all of that stuff right at the top. And I don't have a community page yet because I don't have 500 subscribers. I'm getting there. But if you see me drop out or something and I'm not doing something for a while, you'll know why. Okay. It'll either be, well, hopefully she didn't pass, or I just couldn't manage my emotions well enough to be able to do what we do here. So I'll try to keep people posted as much as I possibly can. But honestly, I don't have like I said, I don't have a community page, so I can't let people know what exactly is going on other than making a video for it. The second piece of news that I want people to know, and that is, I just want to thank everybody for so much for being supporters of the channel and loving me and loving Thrash Pondo and what we do here. And also for, those of you who have decided to be Patreons. I know we're all looking forward for me to getting monetized here, so you can donate here on this place. I know it's a lot of fun when you donate and you see the thing go up and all that stuff, and we're going to get there. I know that, but until then, I do have a Venmo as well. So there's my Venmo. It's in the chat now. It's at Singularity_Productions. Singularity Productions is actually the LLC that I own, that everything kind of works out of. And so for people who are not, they don't really want to donate every month. Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see you though.
Actually, I'm switching mics right now. I froze, so I'm switching to my other thing. I just forgot to change my headphones.
Okay. Yeah, that's loud. So if you want to donate like a one-time donation or something like that, you can. So, with that said and kind of out of the way, I would really just like to, and I thank you, everybody. I'm gonna just try to keep things positive and keep rolling along with what we do. And I don't want this to be a down room. I don't want people to be sad and stuff like that. That's not why I said this. I just want you all to know because I feel a real connection with you guys. Okay, I really do. I feel like we're to a degree an extended family. We're a community here on this page. And so I just wanted you to be aware of it. But now it's like the news too. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but on the news, they go from one story to another. Oh, here we go. I see it. Robert. Okay. You just dropped out again. So, all right. Well, I don't know. You'll have to come back. But on the news, I notice this all the time. They'll tell one story about dancing squirrels, and then the very next story will be like, some tragedy, and then they'll go back to, Mama's Pizzeria opening, and it's like, are you guys bipolar on the news? I think you should have all the bad news in one half hour, and then all the good news in another half hour. All right, here we go. Robert, can you hear me? I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you, Roberto. Okay, well, I'm going to remove you for just a second. I'm going to try to do this on my own. And also, if you know that if I wrap this up a little bit early or something like that, keep trying to get back in here. Thrash, keep trying to get back in here. But I'm just going to go ahead and say hello to people who are already in the channel. It's difficult for me to do both things here because I'm, partly learning disabled. So I want to say hi to all the people who are in the channel. Let's just start here. Mr. Led. Yeah, Mr. Led. Or Superplex, sorry. Hi, Superplex. Glad you could be here. I'm not going to go ahead and read that. And then we have Lance Chafin. Lance, how are you doing? I'm glad you could be joining us. And Mr. Led, thank you for joining us on the program today. And Spike Spikerson as well. And Tracy Rothmeyer, how you doing, my dear? I'm glad you could be joining us for this awesome discussion we're going to be having about after-school snacks. Yeah, he keeps popping in and out. So I don't know if he's going to be able to make it or not. Here we go. Add to the stream.
I'm here in the stream.
Okay.
Islands in the stream. That is what we are.
No.
How's that?
Yeah, that's great. All right. And let's see, who else do we have? We have Hungry Jerk. I just went ahead and said the hi to everybody while you were pulling up. Hungry Jerk, glad you can make it. I'm trying to see if I got any. Dave Corleone. Dave, your retro cereal family is behind you. Thank you. Appreciate it so much. And I appreciate everybody and stuff. Everybody saying this. We love you, Ian, and thank you very much. I really appreciate all the support. So let's get started with the snacks. This is going to be kind of an in-between. We're going to draw upon our audience. These are the snacks that we loved as we were growing up. Now, they might be discontinued. They might not. It doesn't have to be discontinued snacks. But I think a lot of times the snacks that we think about while we were growing up are discontinued. But let me just start with you. Here we got John H. joined us as well. John H. The Bee Gees wrote that song for
How you doing, John?
Kenny and yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Well, when you were a kid, what did you look forward to eating when you came home from school?
You're going to laugh about this.
Okay.
My favorite snack for years was actually a great big bowl of cereal. And what I used to do to make, but I did not just any old run-of-the-mill cereal. What I would do is my mom used to get me those like travel boxes in the
Uh-huh.
multi-pack. So I'd have a bowl of cereal for like each day of the week or whatever. But I'd take a variety almost at random, like Sugar Smacks and Corn Pops, and I'd make like a variety bowl of
Oh yeah.
cereal,
You
and
you
that
would
was my
dump
after-school snack.
you would dump a few of them in there to make a variety
Hmm.
bowl, a suicide. We used to call that a
Mm.
suicide. Yeah, when you mix things together. We used to do it with drinks too. We'd mix different drinks together. We'd call it a suicide.
That
Um,
was called a when I was a kid in high school. That was called a bomb because what you would do is it was like making a Molotov cocktail. You take an empty bottle and take just a little bit out of every bottle in like the adults' liquor cabinet so they wouldn't notice. And then of course you'd have a full
yeah.
bottle, and it was called a bomb. And it did the trick, let me
Ah,
tell you.
I'm gonna guess it did. I
Mm.
you know cereal was a staple for me.
Mm.
I mean, obviously everybody knows the story. It doesn't. I
Oh,
don't need to repeat it here. But cereal for dinner, cereal for breakfast, cereal. I loved cereal. I mean, I was a big cereal fan. Some of the snacks that I looked forward to eating after school. Well, one of my favorites was cold pizza. Like it was one of my favorite
oh.
things to eat cold pizza after school. A lot of times me and my stepdad at the time would fight over who gets it. I would always be home first and he'd be mad at me for eating the I couldn't resist though. I couldn't resist. I just love food so much. It's crazy how much I love food. Yeah, so number one dude is here too. So I just want to say hi, number one dude. Awesome to have you here. If
Number
I
one
miss
dude,
anybody
what's
and I
going
see
on,
you,
bro? Good to see you.
yeah. If I see you, I'll pull you up here. Some of the afternoon snacks that I like. So I got to ask you, were you more of a salty snack fan or a sweet snack fan?
Well, I always loved my chocolate. In fact, the earliest snacks I can remember were when I was actually in preschool, and they would have those snack packs. They were like the pudding, and they had the pop top cans, and it was like a single serving.
Oh
Like
yeah.
each can was a one serving of pudding. And I loved my chocolate pudding. I loved always loved my chocolate chip cookies. But if I had to pick between sweet and salty, I was usually a salty snack person.
Oh, were you? That's very interesting. That's very interesting. What's the well? Let's get to our comments here. I want to see what people have been writing in for their favorite snacks. This is anything short of a meal. It can even be,
Hmm.
it can even be a meal. Just whatever. What are people saying? Thrash, can you bring them up or no?
Let's just see what I
Do you
can do.
do
I
you have
could
that?
read them, but off the other screen.
I see.
Yes. So I'm gonna skip down, and if I look off to the side and freeze up a little bit, that's probably why that's happening. Um. Oh, here's a good one. Tretheros Myers says, "I liked Pillsbury Planetary fudge sticks, no longer made."
I hate it when they no longer make the things that you like. On the cover of this the thumbnail, remember those pizza wheels? Did you ever have those?
Those are good.
Yeah, I love those. They no longer make those pizza wheels anymore, so I'm real sad about that. But I know what it's like when you don't have the snack that you love, and then also the pizza puffs too. But I've never heard of the Pillsbury Planetary fudge snacks. Those
They
are those
sound
are
good.
they sound great. Hungry Jerk has one here. He says he
Oh yes,
likes.
cold cold pizza and milk.
Now, I don't know what you mean by that. I'm hoping you mean like cold milk to drink and cold pizza to eat, or yeah, cold pizza to eat and milk to drink. That's that. I hope you're not dipping, but hey, I don't know. I've done some things that people don't. Like have you ever tried dipping your French fries in ice cream?
Yes, I have, particularly those Wendy's Frosties.
Oh yeah, that's like a classic thing there.
Lance Chauvin says fruit roll-ups, which are still being made.
Yeah. Fruit roll-ups. I'm not a big fruit leather fan, to be honest with you. I remember back when they used to make it before the fruit roll-ups. Some people still do. They still do make it. You know what I mean? But have like in the hippie stores, they used to have leathered fruit, is what they used to call it. Those things
Fruit.
are
I like that.
those things are gross.
Lance
But I
Chauvin
mean,
says
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, Doritos Cool Ranch.
Doritos Cool Ranch. They came out like 89 or something like that.
And they still
Yeah.
make them, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the flavors of ranch that they make. I'll throw back a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos. It's not my favorite, but I like I like a classic nacho cheese. I'm actually
Oh.
getting craving for one right now just thinking about it. Those nacho cheeses are really, really good. But Cool
Superplex
Ranch
says,
is good.
Superplex says, my snacks is from the Dipsy Doodle era.
I remember those. Do you know what those are, Thrash?
I'm not sure. What those the cookies that came with their own frosting to dip them in?
I don't know. I don't know if they are or not. I think what they are little I was thinking Dippin' Dots or something like that. I don't know. That's kind of a
Oh yeah.
that's kind of a yeah.
Superplex, you'll have to elaborate.
Yeah.
But this one I know. Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, Pop-Tarts are the bomb, man. Are you a Pop-Tart fan?
Huge. What was your favorite flavor?
I know that I didn't really like the chocolate one. I know that. I kind of like the more fruit one. So like apple. So like apple anything is a big deal for me. So I like apple. I like strawberry. Those were really good. What about you? What was your favorite ones?
Strawberry. I love me the strawberry. Those were my favorite.
Yeah.
And the blueberry were pretty good too. I stuck with the berry flavors. And the apple were pretty good, though they were hard to find in my area.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of remembering that they had them. I might even be completely wrong. Now, did you eat them both cold and hot?
Yes, I did.
What did you?
When I ate? Go ahead.
What did you prefer, cold or hot?
When I had them as an after-school snack, I had them cold with a glass of milk. When I had them for breakfast, I had to have them hot.
Okay, right. Well, I got you beat on this one. Here's what I would do.
Oh, okay.
I would, because I would open up two of them, stick them in the toaster. I toasted mine. You got to remember, I told you I was the last person in the world to have a microwave, last person to have their own. We were last at everything. Toasted them. That's how I liked them. I didn't like them. I didn't even like them in the microwave when we had them. And then while they're toasting, open up another package and eat those two cold. Because and they only come with 6. At the end, Paula Poundstone has the thing about this where she says, you just eat the whole box because 2's not enough, and so you eat 4, and then all you have is those last 2, and at that point you're just cleaning up. That's all there is to it. You're just cleaning up.
I actually made a sundae out of mine too, by the way.
I heard
sort of
that.
a breakfast sundae.
A breakfast sundae.
A breakfast sundae. What I would do is I would take a Pop-Tart and I would put half a peach on top of it and then a little Cool Whip just to make it into a sundae thing. But that was my Pop-Tart sundae invention.
Wow. Sounds really good, actually. I know that people do put ice cream on it, make like an ice cream sandwich out of those things. Now they got like elaborate flavors. I think they've got flavors like s'mores and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, what other things are people saying that they're talking about as far as their afternoon snacks here?
I guess Superplex says T-Pawns is missing. The NSA is onto us.
Oh no!
Nothing quite as desperate as all that. I promise. I promise. Let's see. Skipping down or up, trying to find. Let's see. Well, a lot of people looking for me. I'm right here, folks. I switched to my cell phone. For some reason, I've been having trouble with my personal computer's camera. Again, I'll try to get it sorted out. Oh, here's a good one. Superplex says, in Germany, Fluffernutter is referring to at Superplex.
All right. Let's keep it clean. Whatever.
But
it's all good.
Nancy,
hi, Nancy D.
Nice hi, Nancy D. And Nancy D says, Fluffernutter, he hardly knew you.
He hardly knew him.
Oh, come on.
Wasn't Fluffernutter, wasn't that though for real? Wasn't that marshmallow stuff?
Yeah, it was like a whipped marshmallow, and you would mix it
Yeah,
with peanut butter. You like a peanut butter and jelly, only peanut butter and marshmallow fluff. And
and you put it on
somebody
bread.
back here, yeah, yes, um, and
That
apparently
was the
somebody here liked fluffernutters after school.
Yeah. Well, I
But
mean,
apparently it's yeah,
that was the
yeah.
best. I loved
Oh yeah, here it is.
fluffernutters.
I finally found Hungry Jerk said, Gen X snacks back east. We the fluffernutter, peanut butter and marshmallow cream. Yum. There we
Mm.
go. We found it.
I never
Oh,
did that with the peanut butter. I just had it the fluffernutter. It's enough to send me up the roof right there. It'd make me crazy. Loved it.
you mean just the fluff with no other spread?
No, nothing. Just on bread. Yeah.
Huh. Be a little blah, wouldn't it?
Well, not for a 6-year-old. I mean, I haven't had it in a while, and I was 6, man. I thought that was great. I was really cruel to my. Go ahead and leave that up. I was real, but I got to
Yeah.
tell a story. I was really, really cruel to my cousin. I lived with my cousins for a little while, and the boy cousin and I were good friends, and he had a little sister, and she was like the bane of our existence. We didn't like her. She always wanted to play, and we didn't want to play. She was a girl, all this stuff, and they bought some Cracker Jacks, and we ate them in front of her. That is horrible. Yeah, she was crying, and she wasn't old enough to talk yet. You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, I don't know what you want. I was just being a mean bully, a mean bully boy, a mean bully boy. But we've made up since then. I think she's forgiven me. I think she's learned to let it go. I don't know. So you'd have to ask her.
I should hope. Yeah.
her about it. But yeah, so go ahead.
But Zublik says, this is off topic, but I always love those rubbery orange slices. There was a specialty candy store near me, and they had the whole variety. They had them like in a rainbow, so you'd have the orange, and then the lemon, and then the lime, and they all pretty much tasted the same. But yeah, they were good. Do you remember those? They were candy wedges.
Like,
they were
the candy wedges. They're almost like a thicker gummy kind of thing. Is that what it is, or no?
exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, Lisa Fields in the house.
Lisa,
Oh,
how you doing?
did I interrupt you again? I'll
No,
say hi to
no.
Lisa, then we'll get back to you. Oh,
Hey, Lisa.
Lisa Fields says, Superplex, yes, I loved their donuts.
Whose donuts?
Donut. Probably something Superplex said earlier. I'm going backwards, but I got to tell you, when I was in high school,
Yeah.
just down the street from my school, it was actually on the way to my house too. If you walked a little out of the way, there was a donut shop, and I don't know if any of you guys had Little Peaches. Little Peaches, it's like a bodega type situation. It's like a convenience store only on steroids. And I used to stop there on my way home from school. And next door to it, there was a donut shop called Cinnamon Spice, and they had the best donuts.
Mm.
And next to that was a pizza shop. So we would alternate getting subs or pizzas or something sweet like donuts and stuff like that. So, donuts are great.
So don't I want to riff on donuts for a minute. So let's keep this up so we don't forget. But I have a story to tell about oranges. So I did a semester abroad in Israel, and we worked a lot with the Greek Orthodox Church when I was there. And I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to eat desserts or things from other places. They're disgusting. They're disgusting. We had some, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff, but we were working with this Greek Orthodox church. I'm not Greek Orthodox or anything, just so you know. We just were working with them. We were helping them rebuild some of their. We were doing like charity work and stuff like that, and they wanted to thank us by giving us, I think it was something like, they thought this was like the cat's meow. I mean, they thought this was going to be good. And they brought out this orangey syrup thing, but it was like candied oranges. They were actually oranges, peel and all, candied, wedged and candied. And they slopped it. Yeah, so you could taste. Now they were totally candied, so they were sweet, but you could still taste the orange pith. It was disgusting. But I got to know the donuts, though. I mean, how can we not talk about snacks without talking about donuts? I mean, that's just all there is to it. I have to be honest with you. Donuts really don't hold a big sway over me. Um, like there are certain things that I do that if somebody brings something, like I have a hard time not eating them. Like I really do. Like cookies, real hard time not eating cookies. But donuts, I kind of have a little bit, but I have a few of my favorite. My favorite ones are the cake donuts, those thicker kind of cakier donuts. What's your favorite donut?
All-time favorite donut had to be the jelly donut.
The jelly donut.
Just
the jelly.
a nice crispy donut filled with raspberry jam. I'm in heaven. But if I wanted to get really creative, I go with the Boston cream. That's a Bavarian cream donut with chocolate icing on the top. That's if I want to get really creative. Those are really good.
Do you like the apple fritters? No? Do you like the apple fritters? Out there, boss. Yeah. I think it's you who's cutting in and out, though, actually, because you're kind of cutting in and out and being a little choppy. Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, we can. I can hear you fine now, but you were a little choppy for a minute, but I can hear you fine now. Spike. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry. Go on.
Spike said, "Never had fruit roll-ups, but I imagine they tasted like edible panties." Ew.
I don't know. I have no idea. So yeah. I think if you had those,
an actual snack. Yes, Lance Chaffin likes ding dongs.
Ding dongs,
yes,
are good.
Or now, help me out here. Drake's cakes were called ring dings, and the Zinger cakes were called ding dongs, I believe. That was the distinction, but they were basically the same cake.
Yeah, I think so. I just remember a long time ago that they came in tinfoil. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. I remember the tinfoil ones. Yes.
Yeah.
They changed that a while ago, but I do remember the old. You had to peel it. It wasn't like a wrapper. You had to like peel it. It was like a whole experience.
I'm not sure.
Here's a good one. John H says, "Oh, they were the individual snack cakes. A brand of individual snack cakes." John H says, "Did anyone ever have Kugel PB snacks from Kraft? I never got to try it except maybe the chocolate ones. I wish I'd gotten to try banana Kugel. Do you remember Kugel?"
No, I don't remember. That.
It came out in the 70s, and it was a spread, and it was a shtick. What it was supposed to be, it combined the peanut butter and another type of spread all in one jar. Like I tried the
peanut butter and jelly in one jar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I tried peanut butter and jelly Kugel. Yeah, but this was it was almost like a blend.
No.
It didn't taste like peanut butter or jelly. It just sort of tasted like dreck.
No,
did I lose you?
No, you're cutting in and out. I think you're cutting in and out. I think that's what's happening.
You know what?
Let us know.
I think I am too.
Let us know in the comments which one of us is cutting in and out, or if either of us are cutting in and out, because there's a delay for sure. You want to try to jump off and then jump on again? All right. Well, I'm not gonna try to. I'm just gonna go ahead and go on my own here for a little bit, and let's see what we've got. Now, there was one snack that I actually really did enjoy, and it was those. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it before, but it was like those light, creamy peanut butter snacks. They were called Boppers, and they had different flavors of them. So I'm not sure if people remember the Boppers or not. I said, did anyone have the Kugel peanut butter? Okay, so we got that. So I might, let's see, Tracy Rothmeyers writes, I thought that ding dongs were made of chocolate. Yeah, they were chocolate. Yeah, that's what I remember anyway, the chocolate with the cream filling. in it. John H. writes, Elaine and Newman liked Drake's cakes enough to ruin Jerry. All right, we got Thrash Pondo back. Hey, you looking good there, brother. Let's hope you
I'll try not
stick
to
in
move
here.
so much.
No, that's good. I think
You
you're
know what?
back and loud. Go ahead.
What I'll do is I'll smile a lot. So if I freeze, you'll just have a smiling still shot of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lance Chaffin said, "Nutty Buddy," unless you've already been talking about that in my absence.
No, I have not been talking about Nutty Buddies and then Bofkers. I don't know what that is at all.
Boffers. That sounds familiar, but I don't remember those.
I don't remember them either. What was
I
your
remember-
favorite? What was your favorite cookie that comes in a package? Like something that we can get everywhere, like not just like, oh, my grandmother made this. Like, what was your favorite packaged cookie?
Chips Ahoy.
Ooh, Chips Ahoy.
And the reason, well, two reasons. One, my grandparents always had them, so they were always readily available.
Right.
More importantly, do you remember they used to have the comic strip on the back?
I don't remember that at all.
They had Captain Chips Ahoy, or he was some superhero, and every so often they would have a new comic strip on the back. So I got to read a comic strip and have milk and cookies at the same time. It was a whole experience.
Well,
So
that's
Chips
like being in hog heaven right there, man. Being able to read your, before we had cell phones and we could look at our phone and read, we had to look at our package right there. Yeah, love those. I know, but I would read the cereal boxes, but I never did read I didn't know that. I was a Chips Ahoy fan. I thought they were a little crunchy, a little crunchy. I like the softer cookie better. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I mean, what?
you dunk them in the milk.
Oh, you dunk it in the milk. I was wondering what you're doing.
Yeah, this is universal for dunk them in the milk.
Dunk them in the milk, right? Okay, I didn't learn that. No, my favorite, without a doubt, and still is, as far as packaged cookies are concerned, are Nutter Butters. I love anything peanut butter is just to die for me. I love those Nutter Butters, and then they get the extra. Yeah.
An excellent cookie, and I always thought it was cute because they're in the shape of a peanut.
Yeah,
so it's peanut butter flavor in the shape of a peanut. I mean, wow, my mind was blown as a 7-year-old.
Right.
Lance Chaffin says Oreos and milk.
Oreos and milk. Those are the classic. I mean, I liked Oreos. I don't like Oreos as much now, though. I like, seriously, like I don't care for them as much today as I did when I was a kid. But as a kid, man, I mean, that was the bomb.
Do you remember Hydrox?
Yes. weren't they the brand that Oreo cookies were in competition with?
I've heard different stories. My understanding is, when I was a kid growing up, if you were poor, you had Hydrox.
Yeah.
If you were affluent, you had Oreos. But someone said Hydrox actually predated the Oreo, and Oreo somehow managed to steal the marketing buzz away from them. But
yeah.
I like me the Hydrox. They used to sell them at the knockoff grocery stores when I was a kid growing up in the less palatial neighborhoods of Cape Cod.
Right. I like the the story was, one of the stories is that that Hydrox had the corner on the market with the Jewish audience because they were kosher. And then an Oreo came in and kind of stole it out from under them. If you can catch up on the chats, see if there's anything over there.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff now that I just sort of blinked in. Someone brought up
we get it. I want to say hi to Steve from the Sad Life, the Life and Sad Ending. Steve, glad you could be joining us this evening. But if you want to look to see if there's other snack foods, they're a wise choice.
Yeah, Lance Chaffin says a wise choice, which I'm assuming is slang for wise potato chips.
Oh yeah.
Wise was huge when I was a kid.
I
never
even heard of them. Remember?
Oh, they were great. They were really greasy.
Yeah, they were really good. They were those really, like, your hands would get oily as you ate the chips, and they had this big owl on the front because wise. The owl was wise. In
Oh,
fact, if you've ever heard me talk about the emotionally unstable ex-army colonel my mother was engaged to,
uh-huh.
he actually had a wise potato chip truck route. And if he was in a good mood, he'd let me come along with him and help him on his route, and then throw me $10 at the end of the day.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Darrell Johnson says Twinkies.
Daryl Johnson, glad you could be joining us for the live stream tonight. Twinkies are a good classic. They did change the formula of Twinkies as I was growing up. I don't know if you knew that or not. They changed it from kind of a banana filling to just a regular cream, no, just sugar flavored filling. The earlier ones actually had a hint of banana in it, and they removed that. I was going to say something too, and I totally forgot what it was. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Go ahead. Let's do John Collins.
Don't forget again. John Collins says, "May I make a live stream suggestion that we do a live stream based on the retro game retro game shows because I know that Bob watched them.
We did a game show one.
We could do another.
I mean, I don't mind doing another one, but we did one. Remember, we talked about Price is Right and all that. Yeah, we did one. We could do it. We could do another one. I don't mind. Yeah, that'd be awesome. As long as people want to talk about it.
So before you forget, what was the thing you
I was going to
remember?
ask you, what's your favorite potato chip? Like, what's your favorite potato chip?
Well, as a kid, it was, as you've probably deduced at this point, Wise. There have been tremendous strides in the potato chip over the years, and I'm sure you've noticed this. The big thing, of course, is flavored potato chips. So if I had to pick an all-time favorite, I'd probably go with my Pringles.
Yeah, I think
I'll go
Pringles is pretty solid too. I like those Pringles. Those Pringles. Remember the Munchins? Those Muncho ones or whatever. They were like Pringles, but in a bag or something like that.
Oh yes, they were smaller too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still find that. I was just talking with somebody about those actually. I believe it was Dave over on Dave's Retro Archives. He does the old commercials, and I believe they're now being produced by Fridays. And you go to like Dollar General places, and then they come in small bags in various flavors, Cool Ranch and that type, barbecue, that type of thing. So you can still find them. They just call them something else, Fridays chips or something.
Do you know what you can do with Pringles?
You make duck lips.
Yeah, so you can do that. You can actually make mashed potatoes with them. There's a recipe for them. No, because basically they're the same ingredient as fake mashed potatoes that you put water in and hydrate them and stuff like that. And there's recipes for them that you can crunch them up and add water to them and bake them, and they turn into mashed potatoes. And I think you have to add butter and stuff like that. So I think I remember seeing a recipe for it. So I mean, I could be wrong.
I might try that. I might try that, particularly with the flavored chips.
Yeah, right on, right on.
Nancy D says Pepperidge Farm Mint Milano. We had Pepperidge Farm store that sold factory seconds along with Hostess because Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah, Pepperidge. I don't remember that one right there. I thought Pepperidge Farm, didn't they do like a lot of like meats and stuff too?
No, they were baked goods. In fact, I believe they invented the goldfish.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now other people have them, but yeah.
Right.
I love fishes because they're so delicious.
What's your favorite corn chip?
Fritos.
Fritos, really? Fritos. The
Yours?
Regular. Probably not Fritos. I probably just like the regular, like Missions. I like Missions quite a bit. I liked them as I was growing up. I like Doritos, the Doritos nacho cheese ones. Fritos were a little too greasy for me. Like I couldn't, and salty. But I'll tell you what's really good is the Frito, the big ones, the bigger Fritos.
The scoop that you use for dips.
One. Make nachos out of those. If you ever make nachos, make them out of those. They'll send you zinging.
I haven't, but you know what? I'll try that. Oh, Zuberblick says Wise was big in New York. Yeah, I was from New England. Yeah. So it was probably a northeastern concern, as they say.
Yeah.
Um,
Good
oh,
stuff.
Donald Johnson says Hydrox sounds like something for acne.
It does. I wasn't crazy about the name. Like I couldn't believe that that's what they would call a cookie is a Hydrox. Like what kid would want to eat that? Sounds like rat poison.
Dave Clarity says, Nancy D, what do you prefer, Friendlies ice cream or Hood ice cream?
Friendlies ice cream or Hood ice cream? I don't
Do
know.
they have Friendlies out in your way? Friendlies is like an East Coast thing,
I don't
or it
know.
was.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Friendlies was we actually talked about this a couple shows ago. They were an ice cream shop that became this sort of like sit down restaurant. One was in Gardner, Massachusetts. They had them all down the East Coast for a while, but they've closed a lot of locations. But here in the Northeast, they still market their ice cream, and of course, I
Mm,
believe Hood is national. But you know, who
mm.
used to have the best ice cream. In fact, remember that bodega I told you about, Little Peach?
Yeah.
They they used to sell Howard Johnson's ice cream,
Mm.
and Howard Johnson's used to have the best ice cream on the planet.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. I mean, ice cream's just one of my favorites. So one of my favorite dessert kind of items. What about well, what else? What else do we have here? What else? I have a couple
Um,
of topics, but I want to make sure we're getting to all of our listeners.
yeah, I'm skipping down as we go. Here's something. Mr. Lid says, Thrash, try the new garden salsa chips. They are
Sun
fantastic,
chips.
made by Lay's. Yeah, sun chips
Yes, I
made
love
by
sun chips.
Lay's.
Those are so good. I like baked chips too. Quite honestly, I do like baked chips. They're pretty good, and they're a lot less of those polyunsaturated fats. So those polyunsaturated fats are terrible for your body. So I mean, I like so like I'll get baked chips now and again. Sometimes I'll go through these health things, like I'll go through different things phases, and one of the phases that I'll go through is I'll allow myself to eat anything that I want, except for sugar, bread, and deep fried things. So I can have as much
What
meat
else is
and
there?
yeah, I know. I get it. But I'll that's like that's one of like my staples I'll do for like a few weeks and then go off of it for a while. And when I do that, I'll eat, baked chips. And they're really good. I like baked chips. I don't really I think they're a lot better. They actually remind me a little bit of Pringles if you eat those baked chips. Not quite as good as Pringles,
They're
but
pretty darn good.
pretty darn good.
And Hungry
Bugles.
Jerk says bugles.
Bugles, yes, love bugles. Another corn derivative. Um,
My grandmother, the one who used to, she's the one I told you about. She used to have a Manhattan while she was making dinner, and she would take the cherry out. Let me when I was like a baby. She let me have the cherry when I was teething, which
oh,
is
really?
yeah, which is a trick that used by a lot of alcoholics. But anyway, um, she would always have the cocktail hour before dinner, and the adults could all come out and have a drink or two.
Uh-huh.
And she used to put bowls of bugles, and I
Yeah.
would just sit there and go, I love the bugles.
Yeah. I
And
I want to address this before because I'm
oh,
just looking at this down here. Tracy Rothmeyers asks, "Is Ian, are you doing keto?" No, no, I'm not. I did so when I lost around 90 pounds. The first thing I did was just low carb. I'll just make this real kind of quick because I have a whole 45-minute message on it. But I did low carb. I did what was called protein power, and I lost a good 40 to 50 pounds doing that. And then I did carb night solution, which was kind of cycling your carbs in and out. And then from there, I did intermittent fasting warrior diet. And at this point, I kind of bounced back between like low carb and paleo, kind of just like I think of myself like if I was stranded on an island, what could I pull out of the ground? I don't really think in terms of carbs anymore. Keto is a great way to lose weight at the beginning, but it's a bad way to finish. It really is. It's a lot of people will hit that keto wall and they won't stop losing weight and they'll just try to keep on doing what they're doing. But I normally just kind of do either intuitive eating, where I really just kind of monitor my hunger and satiety signals and and regulate my food accordingly. Or I'll do kind of a paleo thing where I just like I feel like if I was stranded on a desert island, I wouldn't worry about carbs or fat or protein. Just whatever I could pull off a tree, dig out of the ground, hunt and kill. That's what I do most of the time, except for when I do like one meal a day. When I do intermittent fasting, that one meal a day, I generally allow myself to eat whatever I want when I'm doing that. So those are kind of the different diets that I've done and recommend in the past. So I wanted to make sure I hit that before we let that go. And then we're like, oh, okay. So, all right, but let's go back because we're talking about all those good indulgent stuff that we love to eat.
Spike says, yeah,
Bash
just
'em?
yeah. Well, I was trying to get what that
Oost.
word there is. Just bash them and add butter and avocado oil. I believe that's his recipe for making mashed potatoes out of Pringles.
I think
Sounds
so.
good.
I think so
Sounds good.
too.
Only I would use olive oil instead of the avocado, but avocado is probably better for you. But actually, olive oil is pretty good for cooking purposes.
Yeah, I love olive oil. It's great stuff.
And let's see, skipping down. Oh, here's a good one from Mr. John Collins. Does anybody remember the combos, pizza snacks, and Capri Sun drinks, and Twinkies, and
Zingers? I loved Zingers. Zingers were the best with the Charlie Browns on them and stuff like that. They were so good. I loved Zingers. I don't know about I think the combo pizzas was the pretzel with the cheese in the middle.
Some were pretzels, some were just plain like breadstick. But yeah,
Okay.
it was a ring of breadstick, and it was loaded with this cheese food type concoction. They were very tasty.
Yeah, I like those a lot. I liked the pizza wheels pretty good. The ones they no longer exist anymore. I like those. Yeah, I like the pizza combos. I used to eat those. The Capri Sun drinks was never really a fan of those. Didn't really have those too much. Just preferred like either orange juice or soda. I mean, quite honestly, soda. And Twinkies and Zingers. Yeah. What do you got to say about it, Thrash?
I remember my daughter was really into when she was like 12, 13, into Capri Suns. So we used to keep a lot of them in the house. So a lot of times that's what there was to drink. So I would have a few. In fact, great story. A friend of mine came over once for like a game night, and I opened the fridge and I'm like, so Mark, would you like a Capri Sun bag? And he laughed. He goes, are you kidding? I love those. I have like 5 or 6 of them a day, because he had a lot of kids. So that's all there was to drink in his house. So they were good. But you know what? As far as fruit flavored drinks go that you can't find anymore, and they mentioned this on the Family Guy, and I've been craving it ever since. It was something. It was called Five Alive. It was that frozen gel that they make, like you get it for like Minute Maid orange juice and other stuff. It was called Five Alive. It was a blend of all these different fruit juices, and it would go into a pitcher, and you'd add water, and it made this fruit punch, which was the best fruit punch on the planet. And they stopped making it probably 30, 40 years ago, and I still miss it. And ever since they talked about it on this Family Guy episode, every time I go to the supermarket, I look in the hopes that they've brought it back.
Yeah. All
do you
those
remember Five Alive at all?
No, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably stopped it before you were old enough to drink it.
Yeah, or they just didn't have it in my area. So whatever. But yeah, I wish they did. You're making me want it. I'm gonna have to go look for it now.
It's really good. Oh, John H says Friendlies watermelon sherbet. Yum.
Yeah, I like a sherbet. You like I mean, it's not my favorite for instead of ice cream, but I'll eat a sherbet. I love sherbet. It's good stuff.
Actually, Friendlies got me. I liked orange, but Friendlies used to have something that was called an orange cooler. And what they would do is they would take the orange sherbet, and then they would take some orange syrup from the soda gun, but then they top it with soda water.
Oh man.
So it wasn't like really strong orange soda, but just had the hint of orange flavor. And it was called an orange cooler. And there is nothing better on a hot summer day than an orange cooler, let me tell you. Those were awesome.
I got a couple of things here. If we've got comments coming in, I want to tackle the comments first. So let's go to comments. And if we hit a lull, there's a couple of snacks that I want to bring up. But
sure. Hungry Jerk says, I love Fenway Franks. Found it once in California 15 years ago. You found Fenway Franks in California? Hats off to you. We have them all the time up here in Massachusetts.
Now
Although I
this is a
still.
hot dog, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hot dog, Boston Red Sox themed.
I'm
I'm
not
guessing that. Yeah.
not a fan of hot dogs. I can't. I just. I am. I can't do them unless they're corn dog. But anything deep fried is going to be good. You could take something I don't like. I don't really like shrimp, but you deep fry it, and I love it. I just, I know you don't like shrimp though, do you? You're not a seafood fan, as I remember.
And I'm from Cape Cod. People go, you live on Cape Cod? You don't like seafood? And I go, yep,
Yeah,
that's exactly the case. Oh, look who's in the house. Dave
Dave,
Sundstrom has
how
joined
you
us.
doing?
I've been listening to the conversation while working in the yard. I'm
Oh, right
headed
on.
back out to do a little more weeding, but I wanted to say hi to everyone.
Well, hi to you, Dave. I'm glad you could be joining us for the conversation. I do that too. I'll work in the yard and I'll listen to my favorite podcasts and shows like that too. So that's a good way to kind of, I don't know, keep your mind away from the fact that you're working.
Is it still light out in your neck of the woods? It's pitch black here.
No, it's light. I mean, there's 2 hour difference.
Well, I know, but
So,
I figure even by 7:30 it starts to get dark out here, so I thought it'd be well, to own their each. If he wanted to weed in the twilight. Oh, Lance Choffin said cookie dough by itself.
love it. Love it. Absolutely love cookie dough by itself. Yeah, good. I got to ask a question though. Okay, so what about crackers? What's your favorite cracker?
Favorite cracker of all time?
Now, do you remember the little crackers? I mean, they still have them, where you peel it off and then you have the little cheese and you.
Cheese spread. And they gave you this sort of like red stick, and you would smear the cheese with the red
Yes,
stick.
there
Yeah,
was
those.
never enough cheese. Good night. That was
I know.
that was so bad.
I know. When I was in college, my first roommate taught me the trick. You get a thing of Whiz Pride and your own Ritz crackers, and you just make your own.
Oh yeah, right.
But my favorite cracker of all time, Escort. I
Escort.
always Escort crackers. They always had that little hint of butter flavor to them. They
Is
were
it
great.
I never even heard of that. Is it like a Ritz or is it like a saltine or what's it like?
It's very similar to Ritz, only instead of perfect circle, they're like a rectangle.
Okay.
And they come in sleeves, and they
Yeah.
have those little sort of rolled ridge ends like the napkins in a Chinese restaurant or the
Uh-huh.
place settings.
Oh
And
yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Right.
and they're perfect for like American cheese or
Mm,
peanut butter or bologna. I used to love to put bologna on crackers.
yeah. Another meat I'm not very fond of. Yeah. What about the healthy crackers? Did you like any of those?
Those, what
Like
do they call those?
like
Those
the wheat thins and the Triscuits?
my Triscuits. No, that was like eating a Brillo pad to me.
Yes,
I
for sure.
I did like the wheat thins. Wheat thins were great.
They were great. You ever have chicken and a biscuit?
Yes, I
Those are
have.
the bomb, man.
Those are good.
I don't know the chemicals that they put on that. They can't be healthy for you because I
I've
can
been
just
told
hate
they're the
them.
worst thing in the world for you, but
Those are the best.
they're
Those are the
really
best.
good.
I don't think anybody's going to say saltines like, oh, my favorite cracker is saltine. Maybe somebody from Uganda or something who's visiting America thinks that saltines are the bomb. Something like that. All right. Well, that leaves us some time to look at some of the comments. What kind of comments we got going on?
Superlick says, your grandma got you drunk, T-Pons. That's probably where my dependency started.
Right?
Actually, it's true. When you put a fruit garnish into an alcoholic beverage, the fruit absorbs some of the alcohol.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way once. Oh, here's a good one. Lance Joffin says, pudding pops frozen.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you
That's
ever have
'cause
pudding pops?
Yeah. Putty Pop's frozen. That's because they retain me and a friend of mine, and I'm not sure if it was pudding pops. I know it was a pudding frozen thing, but we did this thing for a little while. I don't know why. He did it more than I did, but I would do it because he was doing it and he liked it, and I didn't hate it, so I did it. But what we would do is we would try to get the very, very hottest jalapeno peppers and eat jalapeno peppers, and then pudding pops to cool our tongue down. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't keep doing it now. I did that when he and I were friends, but it's not bad. It's not a bad little combination there. It's a little weird.
Another thing, in addition to pudding, and I haven't seen these in ages, but I remember they were kind of big when I was a kid. In fact, my mother used to get them for me because she thought they were better than ice cream. They were frozen yogurt pops, and they were in a tube, and you had a plastic handle in the bottom that you would like for like an ice cream. But as you ate them down, you'd push the little handle up forward, so almost like a thing of chapstick. So it kept pushing the yogurt up so you could keep eating it. And they came in different flavors.
Was it the one in like it looked like it was a toilet paper tube?
Yes, exactly like that. Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought those were great. I haven't seen them in a while though, so I don't even know if they still make them.
I don't know. I like me some frozen yogurt too. Probably for me, it's probably ice cream, frozen yogurt, sherbet, like those. But frozen yogurt, there's sometimes where I want frozen yogurt, not ice cream. There's never, I got to be honest with you, there's never been a time where I've wanted sherbet instead of ice cream. But I don't turn my nose up at sherbet. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like if somebody said, "Hey, I got some sherbet and this is what we're having for dessert." I'm always happy with it. I'm never not happy with it, but it's never been a go-to. But there have been times where frozen yogurt has been a go-to instead of ice cream. But for the most part, a good 6-7 out of 10 times I'm turning to the ice cream first, frozen yogurt second. Anyway.
Well, but for a while there were frozen yogurt stands everywhere. They all kind of like disappeared, but I remember there was like
it was like a phenomenon. Like all the ice cream people were out of business, and then you had the frozen yogurt people just stomping on them. But then it kind of swung back because ice cream's still a staple.
And of course, people like Ben and Jerry's said, "What we'll do is we'll have both."
Yeah,
like you go to any Ben and Jerry's, and they have 4 or 5 flavors of frozen yogurt, so you can still get that fix if you want it.
Well, our frozen yogurt place has ice cream.
Ah, touche.
So if you want some ice cream there, it's just
But sherbet. Right. The best thing to use sherbet for is a fruit cup. If you do like a fancy fruit cocktail, you put a big dollop of. Generally, I would use a fruit flavored sherbet, but a big dollop of sherbet in the middle. That's perfect.
Yeah, I'm sure that sounds. I mean, it sounds good. Sounds solid.
Zuperlex, this is an oldie but a goodie. Zuperlex says, "Seafood diet. Use seafood and eat it."
Right.
Let's see. Skipping down to there's gonna be more. Oh. Trey Throws Minor says Dolly Madison products.
Yes.
Zingers were part of the Dolly Madison group, weren't they?
I believe they were. And then what else was there as far as the Dolly Madison was concerned?
But again, remember we were talking about before. I think the Ding Dong was Dolly Madison, and the Ring Ding was Drake's Cakes or Hostess.
Now, Hostess has ding dongs. I know that.
So then it's the other way. The ring ding would have been.
The ring dings, right? The ring dings was Dolly Madison.
And they had something that was sort of a coconut encrusted snack cake that I remember was very popular.
Right.
But I can't think of its name to save my life. And I can't believe we haven't gotten to this because as a movie buff, Lance Chaffin mentions popcorn in the theater. You are right. I have had popcorn all over the world. And they cannot recreate how good the popcorn in the movie theater is. It gets no better than that.
I'm a huge popcorn fan. I love popcorn as a snack.
I lost a lot of the teeth in the back.
Oh,
can't do popcorn much anymore.
Oh yeah. Now, have you ever had? Now I love popcorn. Like seriously, like all kinds. Like caramel popcorn. Regular popcorn, the cheddar popcorn. I mean, just any popcorn. I'm a huge fan. But they actually had this for a while. Some friends of mine brought me a can of it, and I've just never looked for it. They might still have it. But do you have those things that are like they're half popped, like they're half popcorns?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever tried them?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh. Like, well,
Really?
you've had that, like the kernels. So you
Uh-huh.
got the kernels that don't pop. Of course, they
Yeah, of
break your
course.
teeth. But the ones that are kind of half popped,
Uh-huh.
you've had those before, right? They're at the
I imagine.
bottom
Yeah, yeah, and
and
then
they're half
they
popped
kind
open.
of squish when you bite them. Yeah.
Yeah, they crunch. They
Mhm.
do they're like a in between pop. Those are delicious. And they
Really?
actually brought me a can of those. Yeah, yeah, you'll have to notice next time you make popcorn on your own and not just microwave, or you make it like air pop or something like that. Now, these days though, like we never get, like I love the Jiffy Pop. That's about the closest thing. But I had my friend's dad used to make the bombest popcorn out of the pan. He just would do the
Mhm.
pan thing.
Oh yeah.
That was the best. Movie theater popcorn's good too. Probably close second. I love, you can't recreate it. It's the best. But that stuff like out of the pan was, I mean, it was out of, you used a cast iron skillet pan too. And I mean, it was just to die for. It
And some
was to
corn oil
die
at the
for.
bottom. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I had one of those popcorn poppers that had like the day glow yellow top on it, and it had a little grate at the
Yes.
top. You'd put butter in,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite contraptions because I could actually, at like 8 or 9, my mother would actually let me make my own popcorn
Yeah.
because it was comparatively safe, and she just would help me because you'd turn it over. And that would be the bowl. You just had to make sure that the bottom was snapped on tight,
Oh
or the
yeah.
butter
Yeah.
wouldn't
I
leak
remember
out.
that one too. We've got a movie popcorn popper in our house.
Really,
Yeah,
really.
we do. It's a smaller one, but it's this one with the little pan in it and stuff. Never used it. Never used it, but we've got it. And yeah, it pops into this little glass case, and then you
Uh-huh.
open the glass case and scoop it out. So I don't know if we could if we could create it. I think they use some coconut oil in there or something like that. But yeah. Anyway.
Dave Clooney says, "Anyone have Little Debbie snacks?"
Yes. Heck yeah. Little Debbie's the bomb, man. I think I love Hostess. Don't misunderstand me, especially Hostess pies, which is something I do want to talk about before we're done.
Mhm.
But Little Debbie is a solid. I mean, it's solid to me. The Dolly Madison and Little Debbie are, I mean, I think they're just as good as the Hostess. I love they have those little peanut bars, remember those wafer cookies with the wafers, and then
And it's coated with chocolate, right?
yeah, but there's peanut butter in between them.
Yeah, it's the wafer cookie, peanut butter, and then the whole thing is wrapped in an envelope of chocolate. I have some of those in my snack cabinet. You still can get them at the
Yeah,
Dollar General.
yeah. And then the other Little Debbie that I like a lot is the oatmeal cookie with the cream in the middle of it. That's another one.
Oh yeah, that is a really cool name, and those are good too. And I can't think of the name to save my life.
Yeah,
But
Little Debbie's were cheaper, but I don't know why. I mean, for me, I thought they were just as good. Now there are some things you just can't recreate, like the Twinkie and some stuff like that. But as far as like snacks are concerned, I don't think Little Debbie took a back seat to anybody, quite honestly.
oh, I thought they were very good.
Yeah. By the way, my favorite cookie though of all time, and I say this because I was trying to think of packaged cookies, but
Mhm.
my favorite cookie of all time is oatmeal raisin. I love oatmeal raisin. Just absolutely love it.
Close second, but I do love me the oatmeal raisin.
You're a chocolate chip fan.
Peanut butter chocolate chip.
Peanut butter chocolate chip. I like
My
peanut
mother
butter too. Yeah.
My mother got me hooked on those when I was little itty bitty. She discovered that if you could actually put some peanut butter in the chocolate chip cookie and make peanut butter chocolate chip cookies, and they were the best cookies on the planet.
Mm.
In fact, I probably told you guys a story. One of my earliest memories, because when my dad, he worked a lot of hours when I was little, but he always had Saturdays off and was always home on Saturday. He'd watch me. My mother would go into town to shop, and we'd watch those old horror movies on like Creature Feature or one of those such shows. One day she had made a double batch of chocolate peanut butter cookies, thinking we'd have cookies for the week. She came back from shopping. My father and I had eaten the entire batch.
Oh. Did you get in trouble?
No. I got put to bed because I had a tummy ache.
Uh-huh.
That was my punishment.
So kind of a natural consequence.
It was kind of a natural consequence. I mean, my father's the same way, but yeah, we ended up eating the entire double batch of peanut butter cookies while
Mm,
while watching The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms or some such.
I see. I
Good
see.
times, good times. Oh, Dave Sundstrom says, I hate yard work. That's why I don't do mine.
I'm not really a big fan of yard work either. I really am not. I can't. I have to be distracted in order to do it. That's why I have to listen to like podcasts and stuff.
Oh, I just had some of this today. Lance Chaffin says Sunny Delight, almost as good as Five Alive.
Mm, yeah.
You like the Sunny Delight?
No.
No, you don't like it? I like it.
No.
I
No,
like
it's
it.
too thick for me. It's kind of too. I don't know. I just like orange juice better, quite honestly. Yeah.
What's your favorite brand of orange juice?
I mean, I like Tropicana. The one of the grocery stores that's here locally, like Tropicana would be the one that you can kind of get everywhere. But there's a grocery store here locally that squeezes their own orange juice, and I just absolutely love it. And when I was in Israel, they had people on that was one of the things they did on the street too,
Jaffa
was squeeze orange
oranges.
juice.
Mm.
Yours is Jaffa oranges.
Well, in Israel, you would get Jaffa oranges, wouldn't you?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't
Um,
know. Could
they'll-
very
they'll-
well have been.
My understanding is the oranges you get in Israel are Jaffa oranges. My mother told me that.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Oh, Superplex says, does anybody eat Kinder eggs?
I don't think I think probably I have, but I don't remember. I mean, I remember them, but I more than likely have, but I just don't remember what they were like. Were they the ones that had the the toy in the egg and then they had to take them out?
Well, what it is you snap it in two. One side has the snack, the other side has the toy. My granddaughter, when she was little, went through a phase where she was really into those.
Hmm.
Oh, Trey Rossmeyer says, I love seafood, Tracy. Naughty, 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 Tracy. I would be having lobster if I was in your area, Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We have lots and lots of lobsters here. They bring them down from Maine. Although you can get a good Cape Cod lobster. A lot of people here do trap their own lobsters here, but the best ones, of course, come from Maine.
Cape Cod. I would love to. Well, I'm not a huge seafood fan personally, but I like it probably more than you do, and I like it definitely more than my wife. My wife can't stand it, but every once in a while I'll go get salmon. I want to say hi to this guy just popped up. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. BK on the air. Hello, guys.
BK.
I love Tang. I love Tang too. I have to admit that Tang would be up above Sunny Delight for me. It's still out there, but it's hard to find. I haven't had it in forever. I just remember the big deal is that they drank it in space and everybody wanted to do that. Everybody
I
wanted to
love the
drink it in
commercials that
space.
had the Martians. Remember, they look like oranges and had no arms. They use their feet. But here's one for you, BK. Do you remember Grape Tang? For a while, they had two flavors of Tang, orange and grape, and it was only available for a very limited time. I want to say in the early 70s. But some people still remember it, and some people think I made it up. And frankly, I'm not certain either way.
Yeah, I can remember that. I can remember that.
You remember Grape Tang, really?
No, I
Oh.
remember a grape drink. I can identify. What I meant to
Oh.
say is I can identify with the fact that you like you're not sure, like you think that you did something. Boy, it's clear in your mind, but then somebody comes back and says something like they've never made that, and like I don't know what I'm remembering then because I remember something like that. So
So yes, I can gaslight myself.
I don't know what gaslighting means.
You don't?
No.
Yeah, it's a big hot term nowadays. It's actually from a movie called Gaslight, where a guy tries to convince his wife she's going insane by she'll experience something and then afterwards he'll tell her that never happened and she just imagined it. And he tells her it so often she starts to question her own mental capacity. So anytime you try to reinvent history for the purposes of driving somebody insane, it's called gaslighting them.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I've seen that term everywhere. I just have never looked it up. All right.
Mr. Litt says, aren't those called Captain's Wafers Thresh? Maybe.
I don't remember what he's talking about.
Just some type of a wafer cookie or snack we were talking about.
I remember those wafer cookies. Those were pretty
Cookies.
good too. The only
Bel-
problem that I ever had with the wafer cookies is they're just so light. You don't feel like you've eaten anything. You can eat a box or a whole. For me, they came in those like a plastic thing with like 4 each along the row like that, and I could eat the whole thing and feel like I've not eaten.
This is a good one. Spike Spikerson says, Bologna and Crackers was the name of my Earth, Wind, and Fire cover band.
Oh, that is a good one. That would be a great name for a cover band of Earth, Wind, and Fire. That would be awesome.
It would be. Oh, and okay, Superflex, you're gonna have to explain this one to me. Wheat Thins was like Wheaties.
Yeah, well, I mean, Wheaties was the cereal, and I loved Wheaties, the cereal.
But the cereal's not salty.
No,
Wheat
it's
Thins
not.
were salty.
Yeah,
Although my grandfather used to put salt on Wheaties.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
And like eat them in milk?
Mhm.
Well, to each their own. If he wanted a little more salt, maybe he had a salt deficiency kind of a thing.
He was a mill worker, and he used to like lose a lot of salt when he worked in the mill. So he'd put salt on everything. He used to put salt in his beer.
Oh, yeah.
He would take the Wheaties,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes a little bit of salt, but also chocolate, sauce, and ice cream, and make like a concoction.
Mm.
That's my word, concoction.
Hey, do you remember this thing people did? And I just want to know. I want to ask people out there, and I have a really good idea. I'll keep an eye on the bottom, and you keep it on the bottom chat because I'm kind of keeping up with that, and you keep an eye with where you're at. But I want to know this. Did anybody try to do the whole where you put peanuts in Coke? Do you remember that? Was that a thing where you were or no?
Nope.
No. All right. Well, it was a thing in the South. And I didn't hear it from the South. I got it from I heard it from somebody. But there were people in my neck of the woods who did that too.
Any particular reason?
It tastes good. It makes it taste
Really?
good. Yeah, it tastes a little bit better.
I used to put like drops of that lemon concentrate.
Lemon
In
concentrate. In
Yeah.
cola.
Yeah. Make a lemon Coke.
Oh yeah, that's good. Lemon Coke's delicious. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Daryl Johnson says Cheese Whiz on crackers so good. It sure is. But you know what's really, really good? You take
What?
some curly fries and you put the cheese rollers on that, and have the Cheese Whiz melt into the fries.
Oh wow. Yeah. I love Cheese Whiz. My favorite Cheese Whiz is the bacon one though. That's good.
I don't know if I had the bacon. Oh, John Collins. Ian, what is pardon me, what is a good way for your immobile, overweight, crippled friend to lose weight? Like around 50 pounds. My current weight is 195 and I'm 410.
Oh, that's all right. Take a drink. You can excuse yourself, take a drink, whatever you need to do. I'll handle it here. Well, okay. So I really, what I would give you is as I would sit down and I would talk about your lifestyle, and I'd give you kind of a couple options, because the best marker of weight loss is something you can actually sustain over time. So if I said to you from now on, you are only going to eat fried shrimp with your left hand, you just, it's not something sustainable. You can't do it. And I would give you a couple of options out there and see which one is best for you that you can sustain long term, and just realize that you're going to have mess ups. So the diets that I tend to recommend are low carb diet. First of all, that's a great one. If you're looking, but again, that tends to not be, you have to be an extreme zealot to stay on low carb for a long time. You have to be the guy who ruins all kinds of parties and stuff like that. Intermittent fasting is a good one. I like that one quite a bit because it gives you a little bit more lenience with food. Now, don't make the mistake. If you intermittent fast, that doesn't mean you can eat 10 pizzas and still be okay, because it's your only one meal a day. You can still overeat and not lose weight on intermittent fasting, but it does give you a little bit more leeway. And paleo is another one that I kind of like, a modified paleo. Like Again, if you were dropped off on a desert island and you could only eat what grew on a tree and what came out of the ground and what you could hunt and kill. So basically any meat, any vegetable, any fruit, pretty much anything except for like refined like stuff that comes out of a box. And then the other one is intuitive eating, and that's where you make sure that you're hungry when you eat. You don't just eat to eat, and you really eat slowly. And then you stop as soon as you're full. Like you don't worry, and then you don't worry about it, because if you really are hungry in 10 minutes, eat again. So don't worry about it. Don't go, oh, well, if I don't eat this. So those are the four diets that I kind of recommend. And I would just really ask which one fits into your lifestyle the best, which one you could really do. So for me, like intermittent fasting is a big one for me, because I don't have to work. If I'm at work, don't have to eat. I don't really get hungry all day. And then if my family makes something that's not like, really on my diet or something, I don't have to worry about it, because it's the only meal that I eat that day. I can have like a pizza or some pizza or something like that. Don't starve yourself. I would say don't starve yourself. And I would recommend staying away from low fat diets. Those are the things. Low fat diets, they're not sustainable. They just make you hungry. You can do it for a while by eating chicken breast and broccoli, but you'll be miserable, and then you'll have a big binge and you'll go nuts. So it would really just depend on your lifestyle. All right, so back to what we're talking about.
Zubaplex has an excellent question. Did anybody mix a bowl of different snacks together, like corn chips, cheese doodles, and potato chips?
Yes. And they even have that in a bag right now. You know that, right?
Called Party Mix.
Yeah, Party Mix.
So,
and what about those Chex mixes too? Those are good.
It's effectively trail mix. You must have gone camping at some point.
Oh yeah, right? yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's basically trail mix, only with a Chex theme.
Yeah. Well, you don't even. Yeah. You don't have to go camping to enjoy trail mix.
Oh no, not at all. But that's where the idea came from. They remembered it from when they were on the trail and go, why can't I eat this while I'm at home drinking beer?
Right. Yeah, you can. They wanted the trail mix was a result of wanting something that was very calorie dense and had something sweet to it and salty, so you would retain your fluids from the salt, but also the sweet would give you that carbohydrate energy. So it's a good choice. It's a good choice. I love trail mix. Love it. All right, what else we got here?
Nancy D says Sara Lee's cinnamon rolls and the raisin bread.
Oh yeah, yes, both of those are really good. I'm a huge fan of cinnamon rolls, and I'm a huge fan of raisin bread. Our family one time, maybe about a year ago or so, we went and got cinnamon rolls from everywhere, and we taste tested it to try to find out which one was our favorite one. That was a lot of fun. So there's 4 people in our family too. So we got to split it right in fourths. So we was like, just split it in fourths. And we got one from a place called Neaters, and we got from a couple locals and a Great Harvest Bread Company. But Sara Lee is good stuff. Sara Lee cinnamon and the raisin bread. Raisin bread toasted with butter is the bomb. You like raisin bread? Are you a raisin fan?
I love raisin bread. And yes, I am a raisin fan.
Okay.
In fact, it's so funny because when you mentioned the oatmeal raisin cookie, if I get oatmeal cookies, I have to get 2 varieties. I get one with raisins for myself and one without raisins for the rest of the girls in the house, because they prefer just plain oatmeal and not the oatmeal raisin. I think the raisins make the oatmeal cookie, but that's just me.
Yeah, I like raisins. I prefer it. I prefer raisins, and I also prefer I don't know what the deal with it is with walnuts, but man, everybody's putting walnuts, and they should be using pecans. If you ever have somebody mix in pecans into like a cookie or a cinnamon roll, it's primo. It's absolutely primo. I love pecans.
I like peanut butter in my cookie, but not nuts for some reason. I don't like nuts on my ice cream. If I eat like out of the bag, that's one thing. I don't like them in my desserts.
Well, I don't like them on ice cream. Like, save the nuts for yourself. I don't want the nuts on my ice cream. I don't like that hot fudge sundae with nuts on it. Not my deal. But I do like them my wife makes cinnamon rolls, and when she makes cinnamon rolls, she'll put pecans in them as well. And I'm telling you, man, it makes a difference.
You ever do raisin bread French toast?
No, I have not done raisin bread French toast. It sounds delicious, though. It sounds really delicious. We did do French toast and put pecans on them, though. That is good too. If you don't like it, though, I can understand. But pecans are I just love them. By the way, everybody, just while everybody's here right now, go ahead, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. When you're done here, go over to Thrash Pondo's channel and hit that. And just a quick reminder, too, we do have a new way to donate to the channel. It's a Venmo. It's Singularity Productions. In case you don't want to be, you don't want that $5 or $3 to come out of your account every time, or you just don't have time to send it out. I did open a Venmo account. It's Singularity at Singularity_Productions, in case you're interested in helping us out. Means a lot to us. And that's the commercial. And now we're going to go back to the subject.
Mr. Lid says, I used to eat graham crackers and milk for breakfast.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Hey, man, I'm telling you, there are some breakfasts out there like that cracklin' oat. Have you ever had cracklin' oats? It's
No.
in a blue box, and they're I don't know, they're like little rectangles, but they have a little cross section in them, like, so they're like a little cross, so like two kind of like two squares together, like with a little cross section in them, and they taste like oatmeal cookies. Seriously, they taste like oatmeal cookies.
I'll buy that.
By the way, I don't mean to get too blue here, but I'm going to get a little blue. I'll get a little bit blue here, and I'll go right back to it. But it's a true fact. Graham crackers were invented by a Seventh-day Adventist to help people stop masturbating.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. And so was the cornflake. So was the cornflake. Yes, it was to tame the male sexual ego.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't worked. While we're on the subject, speaking of snacks and ice cream and all that, do you know how the ice cream sundae was invented? It was a small town. Some people say it was in Illinois. Some people say it was actually further south in the Bible Belt. But around the turn of the century, the ice cream soda, because soda shops were like in basically every decent-sized town in America, the ice cream soda was something basically all kids had access to. And a religious figure decided that the sundae was meant for a religious reflection and not for doing decadent things like going to the pharmacy and having ice cream sodas. So this town banned the sale of ice cream sodas on Sunday.
Oh.
So the young people would reflect rather than have a good time. What happened was the shops didn't want to lose the business. So what they do is they take all the other ingredients, the ice cream, the whipped cream, the chocolate syrup, they put that in a big bowl, omitted the soda, and there was no legal ramifications there.
Right.
So it became, I'll have the ice cream sundae variety.
Right.
As opposed to the ice cream soda.
Right.
And that's how the ice cream sundae got started.
Right. Yeah. That's interesting. Very interesting. So it was one of those well, they called them blue laws, didn't they? The blue laws were.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Oh, and Daryl Johnson bringing up something that we were talking about. Favorite pie. He said Hostess fruit pies.
Yes. Okay. So for me, it's an apple cherry. Those two were my absolute favorite. Apple cherry. Blueberry, I never got a blueberry on my own. If somebody gave me a blueberry, I wouldn't turn it away. Chocolate, not so much. It was apple, blueberry for me. Those were my two. What about you, Thrash Pondo?
It was almost apple or nothing for me. I was obsessed with the apple pie. Although I went through a phase as a kid, my mother would remind me of this. I went through a phase where all of a sudden the lemon, first, I liked there was something about the tanginess of the lemon. I went through a lemon phase where the lemon was good, but I probably have had more Hostess apple than all others combined. And here's another one. Speaking of brands, do they have Table Talk out in your area? Can you guys get Table Talk pies?
I've never heard of them.
Table Talk pie, as in the talk of the table, is the pie. It was started in Worcester, Massachusetts, the city I was born in. Worcester. It's spelled Worcester, but we pronounce it Worcester. Birdcoat Street represent. It's an individual pie, but it comes in a little box, and it looks like just a very small pie. And it's an individual pie. And you get them in all varieties, mostly apple, but they have them in cherry and blueberry and few others. But up here, table talk pies are like a novelty. They're
Yeah.
like a very chic Cape Cod thing.
Yeah. I mean, pies are great. Pies are some of my favorite food. I like pies almost better than cake, quite if I'm being quite honest with you.
I had a birthday
Apple,
once. I had a birthday once where we had pie instead of cake because
yeah.
I really wanted a pie.
You really wanted a pie instead of a cake, and it's your
Yes.
birthday, so you might as well get what you want. Oh, but I had to remember these. They're the Hostess donuts. Now, do you remember the Hostess donuts that have like they're like brown crumbs on them?
Oh yes.
Those are
Yes.
so dang good, and I do not know why you can't find those in a bigger donut. Now you can find like a copy of them in a bigger donut, but it's not the same. I don't know what those little brown scrunchy little things are, but they only come on that donut.
Aren't they the cinnamon crumbles you would get on a good coffee cake?
They seem like that. That's
That's what I
what it
thought
would
they
be. That's what it would be. And coffee cake. Gosh, good night.
Oh
man.
yeah,
Coffee
coffee
cake's wonderful.
cake.
Coffee cake, cheesecake, all your non-cake cakes.
Trey Throstmeyer says grape was nasty. Apparently, one person out there at least remembers the grape tang.
Oh, I think BK on the air actually said he remembered it too.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He does. BK on the air says, "I do remember grape. Yes, and the funny face mixes for drinks too."
Yeah, I don't know. Remember those they look like lemons or limes or grapes, and you squirt them.
Oh yeah.
Didn't
Well,
you?
I just remembered the funny face drinks. Those came in. It was like Kool-Aid packets, but they were bigger because you didn't have to add your own sugar. They had sugar in them, and there was like Jolly Orange and grapey grape. And I remember those, and you would pour them into like your own water and make your own punch. And I do remember those now. And I think the orange was my favorite. Now that you mention it,
Yeah, the orange was pretty good.
it tasted like Zarex. Do you remember Zarex?
No, I don't.
It was this bottle of syrup, and you would add it to water, and it made like a fruit punch. It used to come in all flavors. All you can find nowadays is, if you're lucky, orange, but it's really just like a syrup that you add to water. And yeah. And I just read this in. Hungry Jerk says, "I got family in Marblehead. That's up here in my area."
Okay, right on.
Buku Buckaroos, Hungry Jerk?
Boohoo buckaroos.
But yeah, lots of money in Marblehead.
Oh,
Daryl Johnson says you can still buy Grape Tang.
oh,
I haven't seen
interesting.
it in decades, but I'll take your word for it.
Do you remember Tidbits? They were a cheese cracker that were long, that were like they were small. They were like
small
about the
breadsticks.
size of my pinky, about that. But they were a cheese
Yes.
cracker. Those were pretty
Yes,
good. Those cheese crackers were good too. Now, when it comes to cheese crackers, did you like the white cheese cracker or the yellow cheese cracker?
Yellow cheese cracker.
Yellow cheese cracker.
Yellow
Yeah,
cheese cracker.
I like them both equally, pretty much.
And Superflix says, "Do you remember Frankenberry?"
Oh,
Why? Why? Yes, I remember Frankenberry.
it's still out. Frankenberry's still out.
Well, it was weird back in the day. They were tough to find. Sometimes you'd see Frankenberry, no Count Chocolate. Sometimes Count Chocolate, no Frankenberry. The Blueberry would come and go, and they had at least two different varieties of the other one. Can you name one of the two names of the other variety?
Was it the Mummy?
Yummy Mummy. And then there's another one. It was called
Is it
Fruit
Wolfman?
Brute. Yes, Fruit Brute.
All
And
right.
apparently those were terrible. But I like the Blueberry.
The Blueberry.
Blueberry.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
What about Fig Newtons? Were you a Fig Newton fan?
of course. And remember the commercial with the guy who was in the fig costume? Now here's the tricky part. The big fig Newton. Yeah, I love Fig Newtons as a kid.
I don't remember that one. I remember the Fig Newtons though. They were good. They were really good. Still love them.
Oh, and Lance points out Zuper and Count Chocula because the two always went together. There were a lot. I actually talked about this with a friend of mine. I actually write for an online magazine called Gamelon Magazine. He's got some really funny articles out there. But he, like you, was obsessed with cereal. And one of the things he and I were talking about is a lot of times cereal in the 70s, there would be two cereals that would have a rivalry between each other. And I think I'm glitching, so I'll try to keep smiling so if I go to still shot. But like Frankenberry and Count Chocula, of course. But there were two cereals that were World War One aces. Baron von Redberry and Sir Grapefellow, I think it was. And of course, Quisp rather, had Quake. And they were rivals. So yeah, there were a lot of cereals that were actually had their own rival cereal, which I thought was very slick back in the day.
Yeah, it was like the rival drinks too. Well, do you remember the chocolate drink that you stir in? It
Quick?
was Quick, yeah, and then the strawberry Quick.
Oh, of course.
The
I was always
strawberry.
a chocolate. Yeah.
You were
Right.
the chocolate. I mean, I was a chocolate fan too. I wouldn't have turned my nose up at it for sure. But that strawberry Quick was like crack cocaine for me for a kid. I was like, give me that strawberry Quick.
Oh, and BK on the air says, enjoying the show, fellas. We're enjoying having you. Thanks for joining us, BK.
Thank you. We gotta collaborate. I either got to be on your show or you on mine or a little of both. Would love to do that with you real soon here. So,
And I'll do anything with anyone. Oh, that came out wrong, but you know what I meant.
you know what? I didn't even know you meant something else until you said, "Oh, you know what I meant." I was like, I knew exactly what you meant.
We've got very risque this show. I think we become
A
adolescents.
little blue. That's all right. That's all right.
Blue. Am I blue? Zuberblick says, was your uncle mad, T-Pons? My uncle's always learned to take my little shenanigans in stride. I was always a bit of a problem child.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mr. Led says salt in your beer refreshes the head. Yeah, but it causes your water retention to go through the ceiling.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
let's see. Oh, how can we have not? Speaking of cereals, how can we not? Hungry Jerk said, "I wouldn't eat the Captain Crunch, just the Crunch Berries. My mom would get mad."
Yeah. Well, did you have the peanut butter Captain Crunch?
I like the one with Crunch Berries, but I ate the whole cereal. You can actually get boxes. You can actually get boxes of just the Crunch Berries these days.
Mm.
And they always had the best prizes. They had a little submarine, and you'd fill a compartment with baking soda and put it in water, and it would dive and surface. I loved that toy. There was another one. It looked like a lady's compact, and it was a spy kit. And
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Captain Crunch had some of the best toys.
Yeah. Well, did you try the peanut butter Captain Crunch or no?
Oh yes, I tried the peanut butter. It wasn't available in my area a lot, but I
Yeah.
did like it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
It really tasted like peanut butter, and that's funny because a lot of the other cereals that profess to be peanut butter didn't seem to have a peanut butter taste to it, but that one really did. That one truly tasted like peanut butter.
Yeah. Did you ever try the 3D Doritos? Remember those?
I remember the commercial, but I don't remember actually trying the snack. How were they?
Overrated. There's a reason they went out of. I'm sure there's always people who want that kind of thing back, but quite honestly, they were overrated. There's a reason why it didn't catch on. It's like Pepsi Crystal and all those things like that. Just it wasn't really that good. You wanted the chip. You know, it was no replacement. It was too little, too airy and light for me.
Lance Chafin says, or a cherry limeade. I love cherry limeade. I remember, was it New York Seltzer? Years ago, there was one of those smaller soda companies that had a cherry limeade that was absolutely phenomenal.
Did you ever and I know I've asked you this before, but I forgot. Do you have a Sonic out there or no?
Not on Cape Cod. We have them in New England, just a couple of them. I wish we did.
Yeah, get a cherry limeade from Sonic. So they make them really, really good. Back when I was drinking a lot of sugar, I mean that was. And then let me just remind you too, like if somebody's talking about this, like just cut. One of the things people can do to be more healthy is just cut out your calorie drinks. You'd be surprised how many, because you drink your calorie drinks, and it has no impact on satiety. So you're not any less full. You know what I mean? Or you're not any less hungry. So you can drink a whole 32-ounce cola and still eat, a pizza. So that's one of the things that I recommend. So I don't know what your situation is, John, but if you're drinking like calorie drinks, just cut them out. Switch to a diet drink for a while. See how that goes for you. Whatever works. But anyway, back to the cherry limeade. I keep going back but it's been brought up. It's been brought up. But if you ever get a chance to have a cherry limeade from Sonic, they make it really good. And if you ever want to do something really cool, take that cherry limeade home and splash some vodka in that thing. And that is actually really good as well.
Hungry Jerk says, I once knew a bear that stole picnicking baskets. Really? Really? Did he have a little friend whose name was Boo Boo?
Boo Boo.
Trader of Myra says, Cinnabon.
Yeah, we have a Cinnabon here. I really like it. I actually haven't gone to it as much as I need to. I hear when they come out real fresh, that's when they're the best.
Gotta be fresh.
But we have some local bakeries where I'm at that are better. That seriously, we've got a great Harvest Bread Company here, and in my opinion, they make the best cinnamon rolls. Other than my wife's cinnamon rolls, they make the best cinnamon rolls on the planet. And I'm not saying that about my wife just to appease her. Oh, I'll get in trouble. No, really. My wife is like a world-class baker. I mean, seriously, she's never won any competitions or anything, but she is seriously one of the best bakers ever. People who are world-class bakers have said that she's one of the best. She makes the best pies on the planet. She's just really good at baking stuff. But the reason why I don't go to Cinnabon more often is like I said, we have like local stuff here. And then we got this other guy. He's a French guy. He just moved into town here and opened a little place. And his cinnamon rolls are bomb. So I don't really go there as much, but they're good. I like them.
And speaking of Cinnabon,
yes,
the first episode of the last season of Better Call Saul was premiered tonight. I'm going to watch it on demand. But if there's any Breaking Bad fans out there, remember, last season of Better Call Saul starts, well, nowish.
Nowish.
Nowish, yes, indeed. Here's a good one. Lance Chaffin says, banana split.
Banana split.
I can't start my summer season without a banana split. In fact, you know who used to make the best banana splits on the planet?
No.
Dairy Queen.
Oh, really?
Dairy Queen used to make and it was weird because they would do a scoop of vanilla, a scoop of chocolate, scoop of strawberry, and have a different topping for each one. And they served it in this to-go container that looked like a boat.
Mm-hmm.
So like a banana boat, ha ha ha. And they made the best banana splits, and I'm going back years because I don't even think they have different flavors of ice cream anymore. I think it's just a soft serve.
Yeah.
But they used to make the best banana splits.
Do you like soft serve? Are you a soft serve or more of a?
Oh, I love soft serve.
Yeah.
But I love being able to do a Neapolitanized banana split.
Oh yeah.
But I love the soft serve, and soft serve is very conducive to banana splits too. So I can get by with a soft serve split. A soft serve split. Let's see what we got going on here.
Well, I just want to say real quick to hi to Skip Rock.
Skip Rock Jr.
He says it's funny. I just bought knockoff Doritos from a brand called Uncle Ray's Nacho Dorito. Some of those knockoff stuff's really good. Unfortunately, folks, I am going to have to wrap it up here. We've been on for about an hour and almost nearly an hour and 40 minutes here. So I'm going to have to wrap it up. We can, definitely talk about this again. Please do me the honor of liking, commenting, subscribing. If you're feeling generous, at Singularity_Productions, or go to the Patreon. Those things mean the world to me. Thrash Pondo Ponds, what do you got going on over at your channel right now?
Well, I'm still doing the top 10 jokes, been getting a lot of traction with that. The last top 10 wasn't so much jokes as I wrote this old book, never got it published, talked about self-publishing, never got there. But it was a list of crazy things that happened to me when I was working in retail over the many decades. It's called Can I Speak to Your Manager? And the last top 10 list I did was just some experts, some silly things that people in the service industry hate when you do.
Yeah.
And I seem to have gotten a lot of traction with that. So I'll probably be doing more top 10 list of things people in service hate.
Yeah.
I'll stick with my wretched recaps, and I'm still compiling stuff for that 100th anniversary. I keep saying 100th anniversary, 100 subscriber, first year anniversary extravaganza. I want to do something really nice for it, so I don't want to rush it. But you will see it, and very, 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 very soon.
Right on, right on. Glad. I just filmed today 3 traits of alternative rock, and I'll be putting that out, in the next couple of days here. So it's all done now. I just have to put it up. And then this week we are going to have Redbeard back on the show, and we're going to be talking about prog rock. And he's going to have to do most of the talking because I don't know too much about prog rock. And then, of course, after that, we'll definitely have him back on the live stream so you can ask your questions and make your comments about prog rock. And I guess prog rock stands for progressive rock. I didn't know. When he first said prog rock, I thought it was like
Eastern European.
Yeah, Eastern European, like real heavy metal, like real thrash stuff. Yeah, it stands for progressive rock. He actually used to run a show on Sirius XM called Proctology, and
so he's a proctologist.
Yeah, but he called it Proctology. From what I understand, we'll have to ask him when he gets back. Yeah, so that's coming up as well. Thank you, everybody, and God be with you as well, Tracy. Thank you, and yes, keep my wife in your prayers. Hope is not lost as of yet, but even if she does, we're Christians. I do believe that Christ paid for my sins on the cross, and she believes that too. And she believes that he rose again from the dead, and that believing you might have life in his name. And so I do know where I will see her again. She was not lost. She will just be absent for a while. And that is the hope that I have. So, all right, folks, thank you very much. And everybody, God bless and take care and stay retro, everyone.